Hello. Can you hear me? Is the mic good so? Okay. Today I thought I do some electricals again. Hello everyone. Yeah, and as you hear, the mic is on today. Making all the fleets right now that we can get started with the Abyss. Let's set up the watch lists. Then we need some filaments. Let's see if you have ammunition. Looks good. That looks good as well. Let's take all the rocks. Then we are good to go. Hello everyone. I don't use skill plans at all. I don't have any skill plans. Fortunately. Because the thing is, when I started doing high tier Abyssals originally, I basically always had all the skills that I needed, so I never really had to make the skill plans. So then let's regroup. Take the first filament. And thank you for following Captain Kaijin. It doesn't have, not in electricals. Actually, dual Retribution and Deacons, they don't have any guaranteed death scenarios. In Tier 6 Firestorms, the situation looks a little bit different. There you can run out of time if you get triple Deep Watcher spawn. But T5 Firestorms and Electricals, you shouldn't have any guaranteed death scenarios. And thank you for subscribing, add-ons too. Transversal up to the knights because they have bad tracking. We'll load those youth frigates first before we go for the knights. Let's go for the knights. That's great to hear when it helps someone. In fact, we're following Visit Dick. Start shooting the Deacon. And hello, Miso. down as well, and I'm on flag range now. I did my first T6 in the Storm Ringer the other day using your fit. It lasted 5 and then it lost to Starving Wetmax. Was it Electricals or the exotic one? Starving Damavix. Yeah, what you can do in this room is to burn straight away from them and then kill the Starving Damavix before going for the Wetmax. Because at the begin those Damavix are actually staying quite close, but once they are at you they spread out. What you can also do is that you can drop on MTU, approach it and then shoot the MTU, and then the chain will damage everything within 10 kilometers, and Damavix they normally stay within 10 kilometers. That's what you can also do. And now we go to room 2. And we got Rodivos and drones. And we can just approach the cache and relax a little bit. Hello, Freya. Hello, Dante Hakomairos. Hello, Refnet. I like your music taste. Commander of the arena. Yeah, the arena that CCP needs to bring back. The filaments and that second gate in the abyss. And camping gets on accelerator after this site. First we have to complete the last room. And we get sleeper cruisers. Here we can also just approach the cache. Let's kill those sentinels first. Hello, Mortal Jacket. for these upholders. Kill those watchmen. And on this run we made 220 million ISK. Which is actually not a bad start, I would say. Two more NPCs and then we are done. And electricals, if everything running still plus 20 gigajoules cap. And hello Tune. Let's approach the gate with every character. Then we give him Finn on Master at Arm Cerebral Accelerator. And hello Noble Heads. Yes, I do. It is on my YouTube channel. There I have a tutorial for the electrical frigates where I show what you have to do in each room. So, yeah, you have to separate the stack. Here is your accelerator. So let's go to the next site. And T-Tune gets a 325 million ISK giveaway. Gonna set that up. And we will draw after the site. And if you watch on YouTube, feel free to come over to Twitch to join that giveaway. Exclamation mark Raffle. Let's regroup. Take another filament. It's for 325 million ISK because someone redeemed it earlier. Okay, and you will not draw after this side, but after the side after this. In this room I just take the gate. Yes, I also have a guide for Firestorm, but it's for Nurgle, Retribution and Deacon. And also I have this website where I have a lot of the fits posted that I use, and there are also the guides linked for those frigates. And hello Godspeed. And we get Karen. Tanglers that have to go first. I normally manual pilot the pulse retribution like I do now. Yeah, and in some rooms there are different target priorities for the pulse and the beam lasers. Like sleeper frigates is an example where I shoot cruisers with the beam and frigates with the pulse, as pulse have much better tracking than beam. Switch to conflag, so we are in range now. The Raffle is for 325 million ISK and we will draw after the site. approach the cache, grab the loot. Yes, a surprise stream with the mic today. Thought, why not? And hello, Sploody Boom. Get. Then let's go to the next room. We get a lot of Concord frigates here. Let's not go into the speed cloud. Then let's burn down some frigates here. We'll start with the markers. Those markers help the other ships to apply damage, so I kill those first before going for anything else here. And as I have the Thunderchild shooting, I try to get closer to that cruiser, because then the Thunderchild also damages this cruiser and speeds up this room a little bit. Like the Wattons from NPC also arc to other NPCs, and that can help clearing this room a little bit faster. Let's kill that Thunderchild. And thank you for following Royal 4. Thunderchild is gone, and let's go for that Marshal. Then while burning to the cache, we kill those two frigates. And hello, Lumbering Reno. Yes, Mike today. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. Like with the Nurgle, you are a little bit slower in rooms with a lot of frigates, but you do not run out of time if you get triple Deep Watcher room. And the Nurgle also is a bit more cap stable. Is the Edencom cruiser still viable? Yes. It has always been viable and still is. Actually, the Stormbringer is actually a very powerful ship for electricals and for T5 exotics as well. But the Stormbringer actually times out if you get triple Overmind in T6. It maybe can survive triple Overmind in T5 with somewhat bling and pyro 4, but in T6 you will die if you get triple overmind. I've just been running these myself with 2 beam, but you can bring a pulse. Well, also that has its advantages and disadvantages. Like with pulse you have better tracking against small stuff, but less range, while beam you have the range advantage. And actually pulse does very high DPS at close range, like if you get close to Karen or Deep Watchers and other battleships, it is a little bit faster with pulse, but some other rooms feel a little bit slower with a pulse and beam. I recently posted a video on YouTube where I talk about those 3 different setups. And thank you for following those DP. And now the rest of the fit is exactly the same. And also last call to enter the Raffle we will draw once I'm docked up. 325 million ISK. Exclamation mark Raffle to enter. See what we get here. This run made me 187 million. It's T5. But depending how the price for the T6 electrical filament behaves, I might also do T6, because the T6 electrical filament price has been dropping recently, like from around 60 million to just above 50 million. And buy orders are sometimes at 48 million or even lower, and there are not many buy orders in Cheetah for them right now. So then let's pick the winner. Good luck everyone. And Kirtanov won. Congratulations. I need your in-game name. You have 20 seconds and then I will pick a new winner. So 10 seconds. Okay, as he didn't reply, let's pick a new one. Add-ons 2, congratulations. So ISK has been sent, and then we're gonna go to the next site. It's exclamation mark IGN, not IGS. You type exclamation mark IGN and then your character name. That's how you register it to the Eve2 Twitch bot. The IGS is the one that I use to find the in-game name of those that won the giveaway. IGN. Then your character name. No, it doesn't die in these rooms. That's another room where we can just approach the main cache and relax a little bit. Usually just conflag and multi-frequency on Scorch. Scorch and conflag, and in raw case X-ray. But very well in X-ray only in Firestorms and not in electricals. Because X-ray and Scorch have about the same DPS. But X-ray does more thermal damage than Scorch, which makes it in Firestorm more useful. This setup is easier, because they also have a smaller signature radius, which makes tanking a bit easier. And in electricals, you are not really relying on cap so much, because you have basically twice the cap recharge. And hello Red Sewer. I'm from Switzerland. Ships to kill. Oh, we got. It's not the first stream with Mike. I did one like 2 weeks ago, and then in September I did like a full week with streams with the Mike, and the year before as well. It's not the first one. Actually, this week I maybe do 1 or 2 more with the mic, and in the future maybe a little bit more with the mic, but mainly still without. At least for the coming 2 months or so. can maybe expect a stream with the mic like every other week or so. Because I originally started with that back in, I think, 2019 or 18 or so. I think I started like that back then and found out it worked really nice, and so I stick to it until today. Actually, that were the times when we still had 2 gates in the abyss. Then we go to the last room. Hello, Neutronia. We got drone frigates again. Here's an example where I sometimes shoot different targets with the pulse and the beam. The beam one shoots the DPS drones, and with the pulse I shoot the EVA and repair drones, because they are a little bit harder to track than all the other drones here. That was actually a very quick run, just 7.5 minutes. And the loot we made is 145 million. And hello, Leonidus. let's go to the next site. Regroup, activate the filament, then we go in. This stream is much better. Okay, as I said, in the next few months you can expect some more streams with the mic. And also whenever I stream with the mic, I also stream it to my YouTube channel as well. Streams that I do without mic, just store them on my VOD channel that you can get access to by typing !VOD in chat. That is again a room where I can just chill and wait, basically. I use Synth Mindfloat, Synth Frantics and Pyro 2. These are the ones that I use. And on the Deacon I use standard Mindfloat and an overclocker too, so that the Deacon doesn't fall back too much in certain rooms. No. The synth drugs do not give any side effects, and the ones from the standard Mindfloat on the Deacon you can safely ignore because they do not affect any remote repairs at all. So you can just ignore them. It's like shield booster, armor repair penalty does only affect local ones. And some penalties regard to torrent and missile application, which are completely irrelevant on the Deacon. And hello Lord Vroom Fondle. And we get the Karen. Let's wait a little bit our invulnerability timer, so the Karen doesn't burn away all too far. And it looks like that those Ephialtes cruisers are coming close. This means that Karen will also come close. When you see those Ephialtes moving towards you, that is a sign that Karen will also come close. So don't kill them, because then Karen will just start pulling range. And this room is so much easier when she follows one of those sleeper crews, because then you don't have to chase her through the entire room. So now we just kill those null chargers and then we take down Karen. Let's load Conflag, get into high DPS mode. Make short process of Karen. Inhaler Akiva Kato, Night Hunter and Demo head on. And with both ships combined, I have around 970 DPS total. So as Karen is about to go down, approach the cache, and then we just kill those Drifter and Sleeper cruisers that are still here. This one dropped. Nice drop. And hello, Will Jonesy. Let's make sure everything approaches the gate. Go to the last room. Yeah, surprise mic stream today. And we got some sleeper stuff again. There we can also just approach the cache and chill a little bit. First to kill all confusers and newts that are around, and then with the pulse I shoot those frigates and the beam continues shooting those cruisers. But I need to get on T4 in order to be comfortable. I can finish in 50 minutes. What ship do you use? Because it also depends a little bit on the ship that you use. Retribution and Deacon. Okay, yeah, then 15 minutes in T4 is a bit on the longer side. Like that would be fine in T5, but T4, I would say if you can do them in around 12 minutes, then you should be fine to go to T5. And Verins gets a skin after this site. Yes, electricals are easier because of the cut recharge bonus, so you don't have to worry too much about getting muted. In this run we made 259 million ISK. Let's dock up. And drugs are about to run out, so I have to take some with me. First Verins gets the skin. So contract up. Trucks are loaded. We are ready for the next site. There is no Raffle up right now. Let's regroup and activate the filament. And we get Tracker Wax and Kikimoras. Yes, we do have a mic today. Okay, and they're following the demo week, which is nice. This means that everything will come close. Shoot those kick Kikimoras. Kikimoras are gone. Let's go for the Dracovax. Shooting the Deacon, but at this close range they can't track anything. Each has their own window, but I set OBS so that it only records the tank ship. And I have two screens and a laptop where I watch the chat. Here. It will take a lot of time to watch and respond to chat. I focus on the Abyss ships too. Ships are overwhelming for me at times, but it's getting a little easy. A lot of time to learn. Yeah, multiboxing frigates actually takes a lot of practice to get into it. Higher tiers. And we got drone frigates. We can, as those are the blast lands, we can just approach the cache and kill them. This room goes very quickly. Are you using the triple hawk setup? Take the gate. 2 weeks and then some skills to practice Retribution. And thank you for following Silent Runner. frigates. Then we go for the Marshal, the arrestor one. So orbit 5 kilometers. Then we need to retake trucks. This Marshal. After this Marshal is gone, I'm gonna kill this Stormbringer, because otherwise it just pulls a lot of range, what I don't really want. Enforcers, then this frigate, and then I'm done with this side. Yeah, T5 I would always take Pyro. Yeah, take Pyro too. Actually, when I last checked in Cheetah, the prices for Pyro 1 and Pyro 2 were almost identical. This run made 218 million. Took just 8 minutes. Those implants can already help earlier. Unless you are running those cheap throwaway hawks, then I wouldn't go too expensive on the implants. Then I would stick to maybe 1% implants or no implants. It's Dudley from Abyss Chat. Hello, Captain Catchin. Oh yeah, in that case, it could make sense to go for the 2% implants instead of the booster, because the implants you basically have permanently. And we got Wet Max. So let's move away from the tracking tower. Then we kill the Starwings. Then the other Wet Max. talk too much in the Abyss Lurker chat. They are following the Demavic, which is nice, so I can just shoot them with Conflag and kill them quicker. The cache. It's nice to have vocal people in here. Glad I found he was streaming again. Yeah, I often stream. We got Rodivos and drones. It's like 2 people lurking, 5 of us chatting most of the time. In the Abyssal Lurker channel, you mean? Yeah, like, I mean, that's why it's called Abyssal Lurkers, maybe. Yeah, the name couldn't fit better to this channel. Marshals again. Yeah, I think Torvald Urus once created this Discord and these in-game channels with all the information, like in 2019 or something. Then Polarized Jones take it. Yeah, it's already known pretty well to everyone. Thunderchild can help with killing the marshals a little bit quicker here. Often those Edencom ships help with killing other stuff quicker because of the Warton guns. So make use of them. He made 173 million. Yeah, that's because the Hawk has bigger signature radius and so the rats hit easier. It's T5. And hello Aeolus. Yeah, but the Hawk should also tank decently well, like it still can tank like 10 plus kickies with all reps on it. And that also that you also take damage from yourself when using the Warden. Which could also explain this a little bit. Filaments and go to the next site. Hello, Bernard. And we start with Wetmax. So there we go towards the tower because they will use drones. And that power will kill some of them, which is a lot of their DPS is from those drones. Let's get to 40k on that. Then we stop ships. Is reactive armor better for -70 T5 T6 instead of multi-spectrum? Yeah, with 71% it's very low. Actually, do you have the thermal rig fitted? Because you need a thermal resistance rig that it works. Like recently someone told me that he died, and then I checked the fit and saw that it didn't have a thermal partner. Or do you mean the Retribution? Ah, Retribution. Actually, on mine, I think I get more than 71. Yeah, on the Retribution, I have on the tank Retribution in Firestorm, I have a reactive hardener. That should give more than 71% resistance. I think it's around 77 or 78 or so. Yeah, we can just approach the cache and relax a little bit. On the website it does not have a reactive. Let me see. I thought that Firestorm Retribution always had a reactive. Yes, on the website the tank Retribution has a reactive hardener. And thank you for following Briggs Fellion. I just looked at the website and the tank Retribution for Firestorm has a reactive. I think a long time ago maybe did another setup. Yeah, but the tank Retribution always had a reactive on it. If you're cap stable without the rep running, then it's fine. This side we made 171 million. Yeah, I think with the reactive it should tank much better. Because the reactive doesn't get any stacking penalties from other armor hardness and platings. Let's kill that last Deep Watcher. And after that they're gonna do one more site and then we will do a raffle. Hello Kuauti. We get Rodivos and drones. We can just approach the cache. The tower actually damages those frigates, so they die quicker once those Rodivos are gone. Next room. We get Sancho with a lot of frigates. So there we're gonna just kite out the part of it just with the beam. Retribution and then go later all in. Those frigates start getting into Scorch range, and on the beam I can now switch to X-ray. That's because they are still way too far away to shoot with the tank. Like with the Pulse I have like 20 kilometers range. That's why I didn't shoot them yet. kill the knight. Yes, the Otto has like 47 kilometers range with Aurora. Then we go to the last room. We get sleeper stuff. We made 167 million from this run. So when I dock up, I will start the Raffle. Not yet, hold on, I first need to set it up before you can enter. Usually the bot says enter this Raffle with typing !Raffle, and from that point on your entries count. Just to make sure that not that some enter now and then they wonder why am I not entered in the Raffle. That's why I say this. So first we need to find out how many there are. 61, this means the Raffle price will be 145 million ISK. I will be AFK for around 10 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, you can enter my Discord, sign up for this partner skin raffle, and post on the Proving Ground forum posts.
technology, but they may fully need. Report illegal power assets to federal authorities. Bring us the truth, we'll deliver the justice.
So I'm back. Now it's time to pick a winner, I guess. So, good luck everyone. And Mr. Pit 39 won. Congratulations. $145 million ISK. So then let's go to the next site. And we get drone frigates. First we need to get out of the speed cloud. Hello. First room was cleared very quickly. Let's go to the next one. And we get the Fialtes and sleeper frigates. Should be nice and quick. There's another quick room. Now we go to the last one. And we got Batmax, Damavix and some drones. First those starvings have to go. Nice thing is when those Batmarks are this close, they can't track anything. And we need to retake trucks. to drop a crystal isogen that I can loot the red loot. This site gave 129 million ISK. It was a T5. T6 would have dropped more loot than this. Let's go to the next site. And we get drones. Should be nice and quick. Actually get a lot of drone rooms today, it seems. We get some sleeper cruisers. quick room. Just to grab it. Not an unstable glory. Is this one not shooting? Though it is supposed to shoot. Then we go to the last room. We still have over 15 minutes left and I go to the last room. We get full Kikimoras. There we need all reps on the tank Retribution. Hello, blue shirt. Yeah, and even with those I can tank full Kikimora spawn fine. I have 79 and 85% resistance. Yes, a surprise stream with the mic today. But let's kill that Kikimora, because then the other ones will start moving towards the gate. This one is the leader. That becomes the leader. And now they start moving towards the gate. And that run just took 8 minutes. And thank you for following Unangry Potato Zero. Welcome to the Abyss Masterclass and Proving Ground Requesting Masterclass. So in this run we made 210 million. I am indeed an Abyss enjoyer. Well, then you came to the right place. Then you're gonna drop the loot and go to the next site. Deactivate the filament. Jump right in. And we start with Trekker Wax. Six Trekker Wax. The Dynamic is burning straight to me. It looks like number 6 is going to be the leader. So we try to get close to that one. First we kill that King Timora. It's number... Wait, what? No, it's number 9 is the leader. Let's orbit number 9. So that we stay close to the gate. Number 9 and then one of these Trekker Wax is going to take over the lead. And they shoot the Deacon, but their tracking is so low they can't really hit it. Let's go. This one. 6 is the leader. We'll just try to keep at range so that it stays close to the gate with the other Trekker Wax, so that we don't have to burn through the whole room afterwards. Maybe I can also move it towards the cache. Turn left, so that you get close to the cache. Lead me to the loot, Mr. Trekker Wax. That would be nice. just one Demavic left. Loot to take. And we can go to the next room. We get wet max. Let's kill those ghostings first, so that we can hit the wet max easier. Because if there are too many ghostings, then the wet max will be out of scorch range. Is there one beam and one pulse? Yes. One is pulse and the other is beam laser. Just 2 Demavics left and then we go to the last room. And hello, Asa 69. Karen. Cloud actually put me close to her, so I don't have to chase all too much here. Let's kill those web cruisers and then the null chargers and then Baron. iron. If you can reliably clear T1 in about 7 minutes, but then I get melted when I go into the same feed. It also depends what ship do you use in T1. Are you already multi-boxing there or just one frigate? Worm. I don't think that the Worm can do T2 reliably well. Maybe a passive tanked one could work in Gamma, but other than that, if you want to do solo tier 2, then I recommend that you take either a Retribution or a Hulk. I think that could also depend on the ship itself, and in tier 2 you melt so fast. To me, Worm is T1, and for T2 I would take Hulk or Retribution. Hulk in docks and Retribution in electricals. Like I recently made a guide of a tier 2 solo Retribution for electricals. Just a decade. Yeah, but we still made 200 million. Yeah, that's also true, but with tier 2 solo frigates, they are usually very cheap, like the Retribution that I made is even with the Corelli A-type wrap only like 80 million, and you make around 115 to 120 million ISK per hour with it. So this means that there are some cases where you lose it, but on the long run you should make much more than you lose. Like triple Cinnaball rooms can be an issue, or double Marshall. And hello Eisen. Start with something easy. I can just approach the cache. So, and here I'm gonna put the 3 cruisers with the beam one, and the pulse one takes care of that frigate stuff. Yeah, Blitzing Tier 1 can also already make like 70 to 80 million ISK per hour. Those firewatches get nice into conflag range. Last cruiser is about to go down, and those frigates are also about to go down. Then we can already go to the second room. Let's see what we get here. 61 million from that can. Okay. Second room. We get the overmind. We definitely want to push it away from that tracking tower. Snarkcaster, because we don't want to get webbed here. Let's also take out those blade forgers so that the overmind doesn't get any wraps. Battleship should be just out of range of that tower. Yeah, it isn't affected by it anymore. And for the overmind you can't really orbit it, because if it webs you basically have around the same speed, and so you can't orbit it with these frigates. The way how I do is I try to push it into the edge of the room or any other object like the big asteroid. Then you can easily kill it. I'm even in range for conflag. and switched back to me. Let's see if I can stay in conflag range. Thanks for the prime sub, Pelico. Thank you for following Kodeshki2. Codex guy just misread it. Welcome to the Abyss and Proving Ground requesting masterclass. We got drones, nice. Excellent stuff. In electricals it is easier because you do not have to worry too much about newts in this weather. And in this run we made 263 million ISK. Yes, one is beam and the other one is pulse. Yeah, the Nurgle in electrical isn't that good. Because you have to fit the plate and then you have to swap out one of the entropics. And second, even in most threats it doesn't get to use its spool damage because in electricals there is no HP bonus. And yeah, that's it. It's because with the pulse it does very high DPS at close range, especially on battleships like Karen, Deep Watcher and so on. And with the beam I still can use the range in rooms where I have to, like Sancher or drone battle cruisers and so on. That's why. beam reaches further but has less DPS. This is actually useful in some rooms like Sancho, Rome battle cruisers, etc. I think from T4 to T5, maybe around 12 minutes or so. And from T5 to T6 at around 40 minutes in T5. Yeah, but that is hard to say because it also depends on personal preferences and setups you use. The Wetmax like to come close again in this room. If in the Gila I get about 7 minutes remaining in T5 without any bling. Yeah, then it's a good time to move up to T6. That's like 30 minutes completion time. Yeah, but for the Ishtar works the same. Second room. We get drones. And why is the camera jumping back and forth? Is any one of you having that as well? Like it just jumped a little bit and then it jumps a little bit back and then forth. Server lag. Yeah, but what you also have to consider when moving into higher tier is, can the Ishtar tank the DPS in higher tiers? Hit X-Type X large booster. And that is cap stable. Yeah, because normally Abyssal Ishtars have a Gist X-Type shield booster. Go straight to Karen. Is anything dangerous here? Is that? Yeah, but that fit is definitely more than 2.2 billion. Oh, it says estimated 29 billion. I wonder what is so expensive on this fit. I mean, the Pitum A-type is already 1 billion alone. Yeah, abyssal modules don't have a specific value assigned to them. Yeah, but that is definitely more than 1.2 billion. I would say maybe without 4 to 4.5 billion it looks like. Or maybe the Goliath drone tuner could be the one that makes it so expensive. Yeah, check the Goliath drone tuner. The implant makes it so expensive. Yeah, that one is from a very old event. there only are very few of them left, which is what makes them so expensive nowadays. And we made 240. Oh yeah, those make it so expensive. And I really wish that CCP would add some normal usable drone implants to normal LP stores and incursion stores that would have around the same cost as other turret and missile implants. Yeah, those implants you don't really need. Like I would say, abyssal rolling the drones is probably much cheaper than getting these 20 billion implants. Yes, I took the trucks with me. And we start with wet max again. To get away from that tracking tower. But the auto wetback is coming close. So it will have issues tracking me. Currently just running a mission with a 3k DPS Vagur. Go to the second room. We get Karen. Let's orbit that battleship and kill it. So you dual box in two different missions. But I guess that can be difficult. Managing two different missions at the same time. Maybe it could be easier to put all the ships into the same mission. It could be easier to manage, I guess. Have to get them away from the speed cloud. Hello. Oh, I see there is an ad right now. But I have set it so that it is the minimum possible of ads that you can run, so that there are no pre-rolls. So you get into the stream without any interruption first. Add over. Yeah, I can see that the ad is now gone. Let's take the cash. Just another decade. But we made 226 million. Let's go to the next site. Multiboxing two separate machines isn't that bad if you have the correct multiboxing software. Yeah, I have never tried multiboxing two separate missions. We start with Kikimoras. I haven't heard of that software actually. Don't know what it is. Is actually that software a bit different from the EVO preview? Because I use it for years and I'm very happy with it. It's just a variation of EVO. Okay. Yeah, I think then I can as well just stick to EVO preview. Yeah, I don't see a reason to change at this point. ESD fix plus EVO wasn't working, was... Or maybe it could also depend on the system you use it, because I heard that EVO actually can cause problems on Linux and maybe Mac, but on Windows it works fine. Let's make sure that we don't spread too far. EVO didn't work on your computer. For me it works perfectly fine. Yeah, like when I originally downloaded EVO, I could just open it and use it and had no problems with it at all. Thank you for following. I don't try to pronounce that. So Karen is about to go down, and then we're gonna grab the loot. And after that I'm gonna do one more site, and then we will do the final raffle. Let's grab the loot. And we made 143 million. So after that, one more site and then final raffle.
to the moment, stay cool with the Federation's favorite list. Now available in blue. Warp hunt active.
Let's activate the filament. And we start with marshals. Let's kill those frigates, because they are dangerous. Then we go for the rest here. There's actually a thunder child in here, so we use that to kill these Stormbringers a little bit faster, because they take a lot of time to kill. We need to max out all armor skills. Yeah, for T5 I would recommend having all the armor skills at level 5. Thank you for following X. Thank you for following Visit Link. Visit Tick. So, second room. We get drone battle cruiser. And those don't switch targets except one, so I will send the beam retribution in close to them. Starting with the sparks and amber. The blast grip is shooting the Deacon, that's fine. At this range it won't do anything. The spark is gone. The blast grip is also about to go down. How much resist? 79. Yeah, maybe I can tank 2 to 3 amber grips. Definitely not more. I think I can already regroup for the last battle cruiser. Let's check the loot. Go to the last room. We get less checks. Thank you for following Oku Heaven. Nice. Yeah, so often sometimes drops a nice implant. It can be worth like, I think it's 100 million or something. Not sure. Thank you for following Kiri 1987. Those Lasheks are following those drone frigates, which is nice. Okay, and it dropped a micro warp drive mutoplasmid in electricals. That's interesting, but I take it anyway. And so we made 256 million for this site. 130 million. Yeah, that's a nice drop for a level 4 mission. I once got the Caldari Navy multi-spectrum hardener from the Caldari Anomic Team mission. That was worth around 400 million or something. Let's drop the loot. Yeah, those burner missions can drop some nice loot as well. Then I'm gonna set up the final raffle. And Moobot somehow completely froze. There's nothing working on it anymore. Let's try again. Okay, Raffle is up. Exclamation mark Raffle. We are 110 viewers, which means 150 million ISK. Exclamation mark Raffle to enter. And those watching on YouTube, come over to Twitch so that you can also enter the raffle. And this is the loot of today. It's around 3.2 billion. I will draw in 3 minutes. Meantime, I'm gonna check who we are going to raid afterwards. Who we are going to raid after? I raided Pando on Sunday. Maybe we can raid. Maybe we're gonna raid E2Ga afterwards. Yeah, I think I'm gonna raid B2Ga after this raffle. And thank you for following Voodoo Woody. 2 minutes left and then we will draw 150 million. So 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds. Oh yeah, B2Ga is also doing Abyss right now, so I think it's a good target to raid. 50 seconds on the raffle. So 10 seconds, last call on the Raffle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raffle is over, good luck everyone. And the winner is Freya, congratulations. Select it. $150 million ISK coming your way. So before we are going to raid B-Tuga, join my Discord to not miss when I'm online next, which is tomorrow for another stream with the mic, I would say. When you happen to do shopping on the Eve store or Marquee Dragon, use the code Gustav, helps the channel, and you get a 3% discount on Marquee Dragon. Right now there's still a Black sale happening and there are Federation Day packs for sale. With the Pulse I have more DPS at close range with Conflict. Also sign up for this video for the scope skin raffle. Comment this YouTube video with your in-game name. Are they working? Yeah, you're welcome. Glad you liked it. And last but not least, check out the arena stuff that CCP should bring back. Other than that, thank you for watching and I see you as soon as tomorrow. Proving round speed. Yeah, that's always on my stream, proving round stuff. Yeah, for the 2 to 3 streams with Mike now, and maybe in the coming month, maybe like once every 2 weeks or so I'll stream with the mic.